Right, I'd like to introduce our next contestant from the Faculty of Arts and Social Sciences, Debrin Foxcroft.
I remember that. For those that saw the final, I will remember to switch to my next slide. Before I start, I'd just like to thank my supervisor, Professor Dan Zerker, and Dr. Alan Simpson. Their support has been amazing, and as well as all my friends who have come here to laugh at me. So I really do appreciate it. Thank you for coming. Patricio Aylwin, the first democratically elected president of Chile after the brutal Pinochet regime, once told me that by not seeking justice for crimes committed against his own people, he made a choice. The best choice for his country's fledgling democracy. The only choice for peace. And 21 years later, he says his conscience is clear, but it was a difficult decision to make. On the one hand, was the choice for democracy, to get rid of a brutal dictatorship, to find reconciliation. On the other hand, was the choice for justice, to mete out punishment for vicious crimes against humanity, to apply salve to the hearts and minds of entire populations who had suffered under the hands of their own government. Politics in Latin America and Africa are confused and intense at best. I am exploring what have been some of the most difficult decisions in these troubled regions. I am examining the bargain struck to usher in democracy. In particular, I am focusing on the experiences of Brazil, Chile, and South Africa, and the amnesty laws that they used to convince the authoritarian regimes to let go of power, step back, and allow for a political change. Laws that allowed murderers and torturers to walk scot-free. I am asking whether by granting amnesty, do we sacrifice justice for democracy? And ultimately, is this a bargain that we're able to keep? Because long after the heat of battle has cooled, long after those tensions of the negotiation table have been forgotten, the need for justice remains. I have travelled to Brazil, Chile, and South Africa, and I interviewed former presidents, human rights lawyers, activists, and politicians. Time and time again, I heard the same thing. Reluctantly, amnesty was agreed to. Justice was bargained away for a democratic future. But I also heard that now, on the streets and in the courts of these nations, people are crying out for justice. There is a growing understanding that for true reconciliation, we need to find a better option. And at the heart of my research, this is what I'm looking to find. The third and hopefully best choice. Thank you.